11-year-old girl pregnant. Residents appeal to older men to stop having sex with underage girls. Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on air and online at onespotmedia.com. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Also this evening, Peace Parade. Church to take united stance against crime after minister was gunned down on church compound. Man who went to sea with fishermen killed by sharks speaks out. And former House Speaker Hedley Cunningham is dead. There's also sports commentary and weather in this newscast, so stay with us. The news in detail right after this break. .com. An inner-city community in the corporate area is pleading with adult males to stop having sex with underage girls. The cries come after an 11-year-old girl was impregnated. TVJ's Krista Campbell to stop having sex with underage girls. The cries come after an 11-year-old girl was impregnated. TVJ's Krista Campbell has more in this report.
Justice! Residents of an area called Frog City in Mounts pregnant. Residents are tight-lipped, many refusing to comment on the incident. However, community leader Wayne Wallace spoke with our news team about the matter.
He said that she'd been having interfered with more than one member of the community. It is alleged that some of the people that are involved are big men of the community, but it's alleged that some of the people that are involved are big men of the community, but from that level, but I don't know.
A resident who refused to speak on camera said she fears for her child.
That's not safe. You can't say 11-year-old a breed and safe. No, never 8-year-old, she not safe. We're afraid.
What time normally make them go in the evening time?
Our school over 2:30 and she head in same time. She not come out back.
One of the child's family members told TVJ.
What time normally make them go in the evening time?
Our school over 2:30 and she head in same time. She not come out back.
One of the child's family members told TVJ News that the Child Development Agency CDA has taken the child away from her mother. The family has asked the media to respect its privacy. Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, CISOCA, is investigating the incident. CISOCA is currently focusing on another minor.
Detectives from CISOCA, along with personnel from the St. Andrews South Divisional Headquarters, went into the community. The young man, who is also a child, was arrested and placed before the family court. He was in fact offered bail in the sum of $50,000 to appear in court on the 15th of November.
The suspect has stance against the murder of 29-year-old Minister James Johnson and rising crime across the country with a peace parade planned for October. The move comes even its stance against the murder of 29-year-old Minister James Johnson and rising crime across the country with a peace parade planned for October. The move comes even as more persons continue to condemn the brazen murder of the minister while on his church compound on Thursday.
7 shots, and we're believing God for change.
2 church leaders from Maranatha Ministries in Waterhouse, St. Andrew, taking a stance against the murder of 29-year-old Minister James Johnson. They want all the churches in Jamaica and the rest of the island to follow suit and send a strong message to criminals who continue to push up the country's murder figures. And so, the church is organizing a peace parade for October 27, dubbed Jesus in the City.
We're going to be marching with floats. We're going to be marching from Hero Circle, possibly, to downtown Kingston on the waterfront, and from somewhere in 3 miles to downtown. Different groups converging on the waterfront for a major concert.
They want it to be a family event and are urging members of
miles to downtown. Different groups converging on the waterfront for a major concert.
They want it to be a family event and are urging members on Old Harbour Road in St. Catherine on Thursday afternoon. In condemning the crime, National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang stressed that if such acts are allowed to continue, they would only undermine crime-fighting efforts. He noted that the incident took place in an area of St. Catherine where a state of emergency has been in operation for the past few months.
We have seen a pretty dramatic reduction in murder rate out there, but still going on, and this shows that the
emergency has been in operation for the past few months.
We have seen a pretty dramatic reduction in murder rate out there, but still going on, and this shows that the individuals who will carry out that kind of brutal crime is still there. They still have guns, and we have to find those guns.
Killed in a motorcycle collision on August 30. Family, friends and schoolmates gathered on the somber occasion.
I tell everybody everywhere that if I am here, I remember one night my sister called that he was sick, and I reached medical before she did, and I live in Buff Bay. I tell them that anybody calls me to say anything has happened to my son and he's dead, just leave him right there until I get there, because he has to come back to life in the name of Jesus. And I'm not asking God, I say, God, don't test me, but I know it is going to happen. Yes, because he's going to bury me, not the other way around.
There are so many things happening to our youngsters nowadays. Be safe, be on the alert, be aware of what is happening around you. So many things happening to our youngsters nowadays. Be safe, be on the alert, be aware of what is happening around you. I mean, simple incidents like walking on the road. Again, I plead to you, walk out of the road, be aware of the surrounding, take the headphones out of your ears, and be alert.
Akeem Bailey and Nicardo Palmer were both traveling on a motorcycle on Blueberry Hill Main Road when their bikes collided with a sports utility vehicle. One of the boys died on the spot while the other died shortly after. The police are yet to identify a pedestrian who died after being struck by a car along the Bustamante Highway in Clarendon last night and received head injuries. He was taken to hospital but did not survive. The man who went to sea with a fisherman believed to have been killed by a shark in Oracabessa, St. Mary, is trying to clear the air this evening. Marvin Brown, better known as Juby, went on one of his many fishing expeditions with 43-year-old Nicholas Malcolm on Wednesday, but they did not return together. Malcolm on Wednesday, but they did not return together.
Jump up, was talking before jump up. Jump up now, swimming side by side. So while we swim side by side, we see this barracuda. So him make the dive and shoot the barracuda. Him make the dive and shoot the barracuda. While me jump up a little bit on him.
He told residents that he left Mr. Malcolm with the barracuda, expecting him to return to shore shortly after, and when he didn't, persons started to look for him. The following day, the Coast Guard and Marine Police found pieces of his clothing and other personal items with evidence of a shark attack. But Juby says he's concerned about some of the comments he has been hearing.
Me a lot of things. And I 3 times I see him already. I'm going to like to hurt him. I met him a long time in my fish, same way. You understand? Him trust me and he trust me.
Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith has refuted media reports of a rift between Jamaica and the United States government. Last week, the Gleaner reported that diplomatic sources indicated a growing rift between the two countries over a proposed updated intelligence sharing memorandum of understanding. But at Friday's Senate meeting, the Foreign Affairs Minister had this response.
There is no rift between Jamaica and our traditional partners in security cooperation. Our efforts continue to be strong, friendly, based in mutual respect. There are issues which arise, as there must, between any sovereign nations, and we work them out. We have new partnerships, as we have stated at the very start of our tenure, that part of our foreign policy is to not only deepen and strengthen existing partnerships, but to work on building new partnerships, and those are underway with several partners.
Former Speaker of the House of Representatives Hedley Cunningham is dead. He died today after ailing for some time. Mr. Cunningham served as a Speaker for his single term in Parliament from 1989 to 1993. He also served as Member of Parliament for North East Westmoreland. Mr. Cunningham was a prominent attorney who at one time served as President of the Cornwall Bar Association. On July 24, 2007, he was conferred with the Order of Jamaica for outstanding service in the field of law. General Secretary of the Opposition People's National Party, Julian Robinson, expressed sadness at news of his passing.
To the family and friends of Hedley Cunningham, who served as the Member of Parliament for North East Westmoreland and Speaker of the House of Representatives from 1989 to 1993. He contributed significantly to the development of Westmoreland and also to ensuring that the conduct of the Parliament was done in a manner which...
And that's the local segment of Primetime News. News from overseas right after this break.
Primetime News brought to you by...
Be a real boss with the KFC value menu. Crunch sandwich, famous bowl, popcorn chicken combo, and chicken box combo. KFC is finger licking.